okay, Pops?
Yeah.
Those famous words, you're good to go?
Well, I thought you were doing the switch. I was just sorting out the carts.
Oh, I see.
Paul, the switch isn't set in front of you, mate.
You're good to go.
I was focusing on the carts. I completely forgot about the switch as a came.
Come on, turn around.
What he meant is you can proceed as signalled.
Yeah, but there ain't no signals in this game, Sammy.
Why is it not turning around? Left mouse, rotate clockwise. Clicking left mouse, not rotating.
Isn't it that you have to... I've never managed to successfully do it. I thought you'd done it previously, and you have to, like, look right under the logo, down at the track or something. I could be wrong. I've never managed to get it to rotate in the re-rail thing.
Re-rail, click. Hold left mouse button.
Oh, hold left mouse button.
What's it doing?
Is that doing some strange things on your screen
When
as
I
well?
hold
Paul?
it does crazy stuff.
The train's upside down.
Right round, baby, right round.
This is not what I had in mind about rotating clockwise. What is going on? Woo! I love this new physics update. It's so realistic.
Please note this game is an early access game.
Yay! There we go. Right.
That was amazing.
Please tell me somebody clipped that. Oh my god.
You're hooked up.
So how's the water level on the other one now?
Going to check. About halfway.
Right, so it looks like you just have to leave it loading water now. So what we could do is just move it onto the front of the... It depends how we want to do it, because either we've got to drive this... We've got to drive this all the way down the hill, or we shuffle around and put one on the sidings.
These physics remind me of when you and Matt played Construction Simulator,
God, yeah,
and end loaders went flying across the screen.
I remember that.
Wonder if we get any news on the new consim this year.
What we need here is another siding. If we had like another siding just here.
That's what I was thinking.
Do you want to whack some trees down there?
Yeah.
And I'll branch off over here. Even more switches are going to be sent the wrong way. Exactly.
You taking it to the turntable, Paul? Or just
no.
back and leave it?
Just like to hear. That's what I was
Okay.
thinking. Yeah. That should be long enough, shouldn't it?
Yeah. If not, there's a bit more room at the back. We can extend it.
I think I'll have to move this, put this lever on the other side.
I shall leave you to do that. I will run the track from here.
Rails. This is awkward, trying to put something down and line it up all the way over there. That's not easy.
If you place it from the... Paul, if you go to where the iron ore cars are...
Right.
So delete that section. From where the iron ore cars are, place the switch from that way away from you first. Doesn't matter which way around the lever is.
Oh, it does, because it's going to stick in the...
No, it doesn't for this bit. Just place it down onto the... from the iron ore car tracks.
What, like this?
Yeah.
Right.
Then get a 90 cross at the other end and snap it to the other end. Then delete the switch in the middle.
I see where this is going. It's a bit hacky.
Now who's hacking?
And then place a switch down with the lever on the correct side with the correct switch in the correct direction.
Hacker!
Does that snap it in automatically?
And that'll snap it in the correct place.
Hacks.
I hope you can sleep at night, Somu.
That is not a hack. When you have built fiddle yards the size that I have, trust me, I know every single way of hooking every single bit of this track up.
Right. Okay.
Are you happy now, Paul?
As long as you can sleep at night, that's all that matters.
I can sleep fine, mate. I haven't cheated my money or experience. I have a conscience.
Oh, dear. Let's see. We want to go switch on the right. No, we want to go switch left, I think. Ooh, which doesn't line up too well. To come back a bit further.
Pups is going to have nightmare tonight.
Oh, that almost lines up. Look at that. Just pure guesswork. Thank you, Valencia. Anyone having kebabs tonight? Nope, having Domino's pizza tonight. What's going on? Click, click. Thank you. I've just got to guess how long to make that piece, but I've got a feeling we can probably just get away without a piece. So I think we can probably just do that. What? That looks strangely elevated.
So I've doubled the fill rate by putting 2 water towers down. Which didn't used to work, so that's new.
Come on, game. What is going on? It's just doing some weird thing with the levels. Oh, God. I really wish when he's on Demolish, when you look at something, it would highlight what it's going to delete.
That would be nice.
It's just doing some weird stuff with the levels of the track. Like, it literally previews it. You click, and then it just drops it into the ground. Like, what kind of nonsense is going on?
That bit should snap to the level.
If it doesn't, try it. You do it. Put a switch right in there and see what happens. It previews it, goes, yep, that's where you want it, Gov. Yep, no problem. You click, and it goes boom and drops the bottom end into the ground. They should have called this Janky Online. Some weird thing going on with the ground here.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. There's like a weird...
There's 2 bits of groundwork, so it thinks it's twisted.
Well, that tree went flying.
There you go. I don't think the angles of this are going to work in any way.
Angles of what?
So the angle to get from this current switch here to that switch there is just too strange.
It used to be fine when there was a... before I deleted it.
Because in theory, that's...
Why do you need another switch there?
That's as progressive left as you can get, so this switch here isn't in the wrong place.
You don't need this switch.
Perhaps I'm trying to do lining up, I'm just using the switch for a visual representation of the track.
This seemed like such a simple thing to do. Just build another siding, Dick. Some crazy groundwork going on here. So it's just like British Workman, this. Everybody just stood around, one person doing something.
I'm supervising.
Well, I've got the siding hooked up. We just got to link it back in. But, I mean, we could. I don't know.
Did we push this switch back a bit? Then give ourselves a bit more room to play with.
Yeah.
Might be easier than trying to
Just delete
mess
that
around
track
with.
there and extend the ground back further that way. Somebody's doing his 90-degree thing again. By the time we finish this, it might have filled up with water, you know.
The track that's in front of the train at the moment, can somebody just delete a bit of it?
3,500 litres. Nearly there.
I'm on it. Is that enough?
Can you go 2 more bits from this end? The 2 bits in front of me, Paul, can you delete? That's
Those
it.
2.
1 more. 1 more for luck.
Could you just do one more as well, Paul?
I mean, we can get rid of this switch and hook it back in again if we need to. Depends how you want to do it.
Oh, I would leave that bit and then move the switch that I'm stood on backwards. Move this one back, and then it would give us more of a turning angle. If that
Switch
makes
left and
sense
switch
to
right.
anyone.
That's what I was thinking. Switch left.
Yeah, it's just not going to work. That's just too tight.
Yeah.
That's why I said, what about if we move this one here that I'm on, move this one back, and then give ourselves more room to play with?
Yeah.
Move this one back so the end of the switch is in line with this. And then that gives us 3-4 more meters to play with.
Yeah, it's just trying to line up the ground. Because if you use groundwork, it's going to build like stupid out sideways. Like that. It's going to build this
That's all right, if
giant
we fall
slope,
off.
and that slope's just going to be floating. So instead, you could just build a bridge section or something.
The train's currently at 3725 and filling quickly. Or quicker.
So you could probably make that angle work for me. Can you link that up at the bottom end?
What?
Like, is it doable now because it's a completely different angle?
Yeah, that'll probably do that. There's a little bit of section in front of you, I think, perhaps. Yeah. Is it too far to do that in one go, perhaps?
No, that is one go.
Well, what's this little bit here then?
Hang on. Let's try again.
Yeah.
Anonymous name, thank you for 31 months, sir. You're welcome.
It's not ridiculous.
There we go.
What about if we split
That
that
looks
in
a
half,
bit-
so we do like a 2-degree turn?
That's a little bit
onto this
janky there, doesn't it?
Let's try it from this end.
Oh, it's okay.
That's better. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Think we have a winner.
Chicken dinner. Lovely.
Right, let's punt this out of the way into the other siding now.
Can't believe it's just taken 3 of us to sort that out.
Well, if it wasn't so janky, you know.
What do you want? Perfect building tools?
Right, Pups, I shall leave you in charge of the points.
Okay.
This one looks okay, so just got you set up the sidings now to take us into that new siding,
Yeah.
and then when I get past this, we can throw this one. You washed your squirrel hoodies. It was like the first time in 4 years. STG Eddie, thank you for 16. Need to stick a water tower at the end of the new siding just so we've got a buffer.
That's enough.
Are we passed, yeah?
Yeah.
How do you get the minimap? There's a mod called Railroads Extended. Is that thing behaving itself? Railroads Extended. Railroads Online Extended it's called. And it's like an app that you run that injects the map. Ooh, it's just about long enough.
Are you going to take that loco back to the iron cars? Because you currently have more water than the one that's currently filling.
Yeah, we could use this and leave these in the sidings.
Yeah.
Uncoupled Pups.
Yep.
I mean, like I say, as far as I can tell, this is, from the numbers, this is filling up at 2 units a minute rather than 1 now, with 2 towers.
I genuinely wonder if that's a bug or they
It
deliberate.
used to do it in chunks of 50, but the concerning thing is that now the water tower level is actually a problem.
Yeah.
Because the one that was already here is on 34 out of 360, and I can't remember what the notes were about what the respawn rate is for the water in the towers.
Sounds wrong, doesn't it? It's like not balanced properly.
Well, put it like this, that's a very big tube, and to get, if it was a litre, to get 1 litre a second out of a pipe that big, I don't think sounds right, does it?
Doesn't sound right.
After we've hooked these up, Paul, we need to keep going back because there's another set not hooked up to the carriage.
You want me to keep pushing backwards then?
Yep. You good?
It. Is the brakes on this front one?
Checking now, Samu.
Yeah, just turned that one off. I think that's everything.
Yeah, Poyle, it's since the
According to
update, mate.
Railroads Online Extended.
All good?
Yep.
I don't think it's meant to be that way, Poyle. I think it's possibly a bug from the last update. It's filling up stupidly slowly. Yeah, 4 pause. We're looking at the tube of water in the game here. It just literally doesn't fill up properly. That's not the water level of the tank, that's the water level of the boiler. So where do you see the water level of the boiler? You have to look in the back. If you look in the back of that tank visually, Sommy, does it look full?
Maybe, yes.
So it is possible that it's full and the UI is broken then.
So is it... Oh, okay. So is it that the UI is now showing...
The wrong value.
The value that we're unsure of, so the
come back
tank
now,
actually fills up quicker than we think?
Possibly, is a theory. Oh my god, this thing...
That's taken a while to
Why
stop.
are the brakes
Paul?
not stopping? What the heck, man? Okay, this is literally not stopping. I'm 100% brake and we're still going downhill. What's going on? That was a bit weird. How much weight is there here?
You've got air brake pressure. That's concerning, isn't it?
It's like one carriage is full. That's it.
I mean, yeah, when we load this up, them brakes aren't doing anything, is what we're saying. Which means we're going for a derail. Unless you have to use reverse regulator to slow it down as well.
Well, do you want to double the locos up then for this run?
It looks like we've got cheese brakes, but it doesn't make any sense. Maybe I'm actually going to have to use reverse regulator on it.
You over at the iron ore loading thing?
What?
I'm talking to Samu.
Yeah, I'm in Doyle 1.
Your compressor needs to be 100%. That's the valve for the Westinghouse air pump that's fitted all locomotives apart from the 2 porter class locos.
Yeah, but that's only relevant if your air brake pressure is low. You've got 100% air brake pressure.
Sure, we've got a tank of air brake there. Air brake pressure 100.
Yeah, and if you brake, it'll reduce that, and the compressor is the rate in which it fills it back up.
Exactly. So it should have been fine. And in any event, when you're putting the brakes on, you're just releasing pressure in the pipes and the brakes automatically clamp.
Are you taking that one, Samu?
I didn't know if we wanted to put 2 locos on the front to have 2 lots of brakes.
Stop there, Paul.
That's probably overshot, isn't it? Do you want me to go forward a bit?
Yeah. That'll do. I don't know if I trust myself with the...
I don't know if it works that way. Oh, it's using the air to brake, not to release. That's not how trains are supposed to work, but I don't know if in the early days of steam trains that's what they did. Cotton Cuddle, thank you for 10 months. No, somebody's hooking this back up to here. Doyle 0102, look at that.
You can come back.
Everything's in neutral, Paul.
Is this going to automatically sync, or do I need to set something?
Well, you can automatically sync it, but essentially that's just dead weight on the front at the moment. It's just all at 0, so you should be able to go back.
And stop.
Settings. Where's the setting?
It's in the actual Railroads Online menu. You have to open the train controls up, and then... Shall I press the sync? Shall I flick it and see if it works for you?
So if I click open controls.
Yeah. And then there should be a little slider in the middle there that says synchronize controls with other engines.
Okay, done.
So, okay, so now on my screen, Doyle 1 is controlled by Doyle 2.
Yeah, I just saw it push me then.
Yeah.
Stop.
Double whistle hype. One Standermans, thank you for 73. All tripping, thanks for 30.
So what
Good luck, Eric.
I can't understand with that concept of the water level on the UI, on the extra menus, the water level is giving a number less than full, as in...
Well, we know it holds 5,000 litres.
Yeah, so I think there's a bit of misconception between what the UI is showing, what the number is showing, and what people are understanding as the level, if that makes sense.
Well, if I look at... Okay. Simplistically, you jump into Doyle 02 and then walk into the water tank at the back and crouch. Yeah? And remember roughly where the water is when you're crouched. And you'll see it's like, you know, halfway up your chest or something. And then do the same in door 1 and you'll see how much lower it is in door 1. But in door 1, it says it's got loads of water, but it clearly doesn't. Yeah, you crouch in this and that water level is either very low or full because it's above us.
Full because it's above us?
Yeah. So that implies... but this one, it's really, really low, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like really low.
Yeah, it's at your feet.
Yeah, exactly. It's where your shoes are just about getting covered in water.
Yeah, so this is full.
Yes.
But the water level of
O2.
01 is less than what it is in 02, which makes no sense.
Yeah, and if I jump into O2, it says it's on almost full water level, but it isn't.
Yeah.
This one is nearly out of water, .02. But the UI says it's nearly full.
Yeah, and why is the water level on 01, if the water tank is full, why is the boiler level not going up? If that is not the actual water level of the tank, it's the water level of the boiler.
Elios is saying go by what the UI says. So...
Alright, okay. Well, we'll see. If we suddenly run out of water, then...
This is it. We've got to believe one of them, right?
Yeah.
Now, we know we've just filled up 01?
Well, no, actually, I didn't, because... So, 01 has supposedly got 4501. And Doyle 2 has got 4901.
Yeah.
Anyway, backpack. Listen to
Going
Pops.
backwards.
You're on the wrong train, Paul. You need to go in Doyle 2 to control it.
because it's being controlled by Doyle.
Well, if you untick, if you resync it, then you can control it from the front train.
Yep.
There you go. So Doyle 2 is now being controlled by Doyle 1.
Yep.
The water level fills up to 90% only. So now, Doyle 1 is correct. But Doyle 2 is still in hack mode because it's new.
I don't think it matters, Poyle.
I'll go up first, perhaps, and I'll leave you to do the last fill, yeah?
Yeah,
If
no,
we're going to crash, we're going to crash. I reckon there's more weight here than we can deal with. I think what's going to happen is we're going to go down this hill and we won't be able to slow down.
Save it before we leave, Paul.
Is it me, or is the second wheel on Doyle 01
off the track.
off the track?
That'll be alright when you go over a switch.
It's definitely off the track. It's pinged up.
You can go back.
Well, you say that. Oh, there you go. Just move back.
Stop.
Yeah, weird thing. When you start driving, the wheel goes on the track, and then when you brake, it kind of pings off the track. It's weird. Water in the boiler is only consumed if the water temperature is greater than 100 Celsius.
But the fire temperature is 400 in both. So in theory, they should both be consuming water. Back again, Paul. Sorry, Pops.
Go on. I reckon it's just bugged. Can we just agree on that?
I don't think it's broken. I think it's just not what it was, and we just need to get used to what it now is. Okay, we're filling at a nice rate now, aren't we, Pops?
Slowly getting there, Simon. It's a bit tedious. Someone want to come up with a mod where I can just stand here and press a button?
Yeah, it's a feature. It's not a bug.
Yeah, I think that's full there. You know when that last animation comes in the last fill? I don't know. Another one, Paul.
Stop.
Whoa. Just need a half a car length next time, Paul. Not yet.
I rely on your calls. It's getting easier to see now because I'm getting closer, but...
Yeah, basically this second car that I'm standing on, which is the one that's jumping, is only half full, so we just need to top this up.
Right. Apex, I don't know what kind of game it is.
It looks like you need to put some fire in Doyle 2.
Okay. You have 3 people, you could do 2 of you, man the car's braking.
I'm back.
The trains are synchronized. Whatever I do on this loco, that loco's doing as well. It's a slave to this one. Are you putting wood in?
Yeah. Yeah, fuel amount is full, fire temperature is full.
The car handbrakes aren't slaved. Oh, you mean on the cars themselves? No, they're not slaved. I don't think they're that good, though, are they? Could be wrong. I mean, I get what you're saying. You're saying we can have some players stood at the cars and operate a couple of car brakes if we need it.
You're good to go. The switches should be set.
First
Where are we
thing is-
taking this?
Well, first thing I'm going to do is save it, but I can't remember how. Escape, save, Slot 5, remember that. Because we might be needing it in a minute.
Where's this one going?
Because the smelter, doesn't it? Yeah?
Yeah, just setting all the points.
First person base building survival game set in steampunk. Explore a volcanic island, operate giant drills and during eruptions. Oh, is it like a multiplayer survival thing then, or single player survival? Right, so
I think we're good to go.
you could jump on a car, and
Right,
if we
I've
need
got-
extra braking, you could throw the brake on the car.
Yeah, so I've got remote control of the brakes on the cars. So if you want to put pups in 2, you in 1, and I'll man the cars if we think we need it, yeah?
Paul's controlling 2 anyway.
No,
Yeah.
just to monitor the fire and the fuel.
Okay, let's go then.
What could possibly go wrong?
I think all the points are set.
Right, I'm just going to do a brake test. Okay. When we get on the slope, I'll do another brake test. We've got crazy amounts of pulling power here.
Oh, yeah.
How did they communicate, though, Eklos? With the
So your
guys at the
current
back?
speed is 6.
What are you seeing the speed again?
That's on the controls on the railroads online extended. Right, you're past the last switch. Do you want to do a brake test?
Right, throwing 100% brake now.
Okay, that looks like it's braking nicely.
Sammy, at the smelter, what side do we need to go in?
It doesn't matter as long as you're on the loop.
I mean, like, what? Because there's 3 platform. I know one's to drop off timber. Is it the long one on the left-hand side?
It's the first platform, so where the word is of smelter is. Yeah, on the map.
Yeah.
That's a good one, take 6.
The first
Not bad plan.
platform that's next, like adjacent to the 2 switches.
The tiny one.
The short one that's furthest away from the building is the unload for the iron. The next
Okay.
one is the cordwood, and then the other side is the platform for the thing.
So looking at that, we should be good.
You doing 13,
13, blimey.
14?
15.
Jeez, right, 50% brake now. We was on 36% brake.
Do we see 16 anywhere in the room? 16 anywhere in the room?
13 and maintained.
So we're not taking the left, we're going straight down, aren't we?
Yeah, all the points are set. Famous last
Can we
words.
just have a clip of that, please? There's physical
say
evidence that
famous
Pups
last
has said
words.
they're all set.
You're good to go.
Double checking again. This will be the 4th time I've checked.
Speed is 12. Speed has increased to 13.
Interesting.
Speed is increased to 14. Oh, no. Yeah.
Should be alright down
13,
the straight. there.
13.8.
Do we see 14 anywhere in
In
the
theory,
room?
you'll gain more speed on the straight than you will through the curves, because the curves will hold you back. The straights, you'll gain speed.
Stick, thank you
I
for
see
3
15
months.
in the room. Do we see 16 anywhere?
Speed is 12.8.
Don't blame me. I'm not in control of the train.
Your job is getting the points correct.
Keep checking, Paul, because I don't trust myself.
Wait, was it red for the way you want to go, or was it
No,
red for
that's not, because that would mean it would make sense, Pop.
Speed is 12.1.
Alright, I'm back off on the brakes a little.
Speed is 14. And climbing. Now 15.
Slow it down through this bit.
Speed is about 13.
Oh, looking good so far.
Speed is 10.
How straight is this section? I can't remember.
Not very.
Not very. There are sections, but it's mostly on a progressive curve, I think. Speed is 13.
Indeed, Andy, I got the first one right.
Speed is 10. 8.
I don't think the slope here is as great, is it?
No, this bit's gentle as far as I... It goes a bit steeper after the waterfall, I think. Well, no, actually, no, this bit is fairly flat, and then it goes back to a 3% on the bit that you are now on, I think.
Right.
So that's like a run-off flat section that gives you the opportunity to brake if you're out of control.
By that time, your train would have fell off the track anyway.
Yeah, we're back. I just saw the train car like dip down. So we're back at 14.
Yeah, we're picking up
Rapid.
speed again now.
15 and a half, all coming down.
Yeah, it seems to be down a 3% gradient. You need about a third a brake, roughly.
Your speed is 16, so you're max, apparently. Pups has fallen off.
Wait, where was you, Pops?
In the second train?
Well, how did you fall off a train?
But I was trying to stick my head out so I could see like where the switches are, and I may have fell off.
Your speed is 15. When you get up to the switch, you might want to slow down a bit because it's quite a steep off to the left.
Have we definitely got the points?
I think the points
Yes,
are definitely
the
right.
points are fine. I've checked them 6 times,
Okay.
and I'm checking the ones again by hand. So yes, we should be fine.
Oh, and then a pup appeared.
Yeah, this is quite a steep left, so just maintain the speed, yeah. I wonder if the 2 locos helped or whether...
Oh. Well, now we know it's doable. We could try it with
Yeah.
1 loco next time.
When you get down to me, if you just try, I don't know how quick these unload.
Relatively quickly, actually.
So if you just keep a nice steady speed, we should just be able to unload on the go.
Okay.
They was all right. Woo! I did something useful.
Hey, we're not there yet, mate.
Wow, thanks for ruining my mood, Paul.
I so wanted to flick that switch then, just...
Right, is that okay pace-wise?
Yeah.
I just turns into little balls of iron ore.
Yeah.
Little meatballs that get dropped on the platform.
Are they IKEA ones?
Well done, boys.
And that's only taken 2 hours.
Well, we was doing some work up at the iron ore as well. All unloaded?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the switch is set properly on the other side.
Yeah, it is. And I've set the switches ready to go back up now as well.
Noise.
Oh, that didn't... That track though, just where it turns, everything was kinking though.
This is a bit that we spent like 2.5 hours on, Paul, and then got fed up and left it and never came back.
Do you want to unhook one of the locos to see if it can climb on its own? Or...
Yeah, we don't really want to have two... Or do we need both up there or not?
We need both up there anyway.
We do need both up there, but do you want to unhook one just to see?
Yeah. Okay.
Doyle 1 is unhooked, so if you want to jump into 2, Paul, and take that up, I'll go ahead in number 1.
Okay, I've unsynchronized.
Okay.
So you should be able to drive that away.
Did you say it's all set to go back up, Sammy?
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to take that up in reverse rather than... Or are you just going to rush up there and take it round on the turntable?
Just
and then...
get round on the turntable, Sammy.
Yeah, but that's not a fair test, is it, Tommy? Because then you're pulling an extra loco weight as well.
Plus, if he does get stuck, I can just reverse back down now and hook back up.
Not bad locomotives, these.
I quite like them. That's speaking from experience, me being level 10 and everything, Paul.
So, Pups, if I send you down the sort of runaround line at the iron ore mine...
Yes.
Then you can go down to the turntable and come back on the same line, and then back again, and then we can load up as we drive in.
I think they're both
and then
fine
we
on
can swap
water,
the
to be
locos
honest.
around.
Yeah, I'll go down to a turntable, so I mean.
Yeah, so I've
Turn the
set
train
it.
around.
Yeah, so I've set it so that the turntable's in line with where you currently are going to come in. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just do a 360. Well, 180, I mean. Drive forward, reverse it back in out the way for you to come in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can hook up to the other end, and then we can use that one to take it back down.
Yeah. All right, sounds good.
Does that mean we can make some rails and stuff now?
Yeah, that's already producing. So there's now 22 raw iron and 48 rails in stock. We now need some more cordwood down here.
Right, I have to do a log run then.
Well, I've already loaded. No, the cordwood is already loaded up. I just need to actually bring the train down to the smelter.
So, Raki, you have to build all the track as well. That's the main thing. That's the big difference between this and most train games, is all this track here, this was built by us. all the bridge sections, all the points. You design your own layout. So you have to figure that. That's a large part of the game. Once you've built the track, the next part is then to move goods around, make money, buy better locos, make more money, buy more cars, etc. And because of the industry, you have to sort of... Where's the map thing? Because of the industry, you have to move goods from certain places to other places and keep things supplied so they can carry on producing, and then move the outputs. On for me, dude. Really? Good thing the track and bridges don't do any planks or steel. Yeah, but Boyle, I think things will change. Like, water towers at the moment are free to put down. At some point, they're going to charge you for it. Same with the track. There's going to be a cost involved at some point.
Right, I'll hop over to Doyle 3 and bring the cordwood down, okay?
Okay.
Sounds good.
Is the game worth $35? It's quite expensive for a early access game. There's no doubt about that. Might be a bit too rich for some people. Eh?
I think I picked up in the sale.
Was it in a sale? I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was, yeah.
Was that on Games Planet sale? I can't remember if it's on Games Planet yet, or whether that was just a Steam sale.
I think we checked this and I can't remember.
It's very rough around the edges, this game, at the moment. In its current state, it's a bit janky, but it's still a lot of fun. But I appreciate $34 is too much for a lot of people, given where it's at. So in that case, probably just better waiting.
Did you see how much they want to, the Factorio devs want to charge for the expansion when it comes out?
I didn't see the price now.
30 quid.
30 quid?
Yep.
Jeez, man, that's an entire new game.
They said they want it to be the same size or bigger as the current game.
Oh my god. Ginger Beard, thank you for gifting a sub to Mojo. Welcome back. It's practically a new game. What? The Factorio thing? What is the big difference, Pups? Because I didn't really get much chance to read that article.
They haven't really said much about it, just that they're working on it, and it probably won't happen.
Yeah, they said it won't be. It'll be more than a year, which I get. But what is going to be the big difference with this and Factorio? Like, why is if it's substantially different? How is it DLC? Yeah, Parkston. Nice multiplayer game. There aren't any details for it. I mean, the thing is, I have a lot of faith in the Factorio devs.
That's why I said, like, I'd get it, because I trust them.
But presumably they'll just release it when it's ready, or they're going to release early access. They didn't say anything about the content or how it works. Super secret. Additionally, the steel supported tracks and the stone based one. Nothing from a practical perspective. I mean, the stone bridge can only The stone bridge, for example, can't span as high as the steel bridge. I think they go higher still. I noticed that when I was building. So some of it's aesthetics, but there are practical aspects to it. Why do you say that, Fade to Black?
Right, so I've thrown that switch at the end so Paul can go straight in, okay?
Yeah, and then I'll turn around and reverse attach again.
So the switch is set, Paul.
Yeah, very cool.
And if you want to pull up level with the first car with the iron ore.
We're loading up again.
Yep. There's a 10-car consist you've got, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems.
I believe so, yeah.
That's
So
a lot.
there should be enough.
What is the state of Battlefield these days?
Still pretty poor. I think like last week the Steam reviews turned to overwhelmingly negative.
There was some announcement, wasn't there? But I didn't catch up on it. Free to play soon. I don't know when this thing's full.
You have to look at the visual, and when the last section of iron ore fills to the top, you need to lift the ramp up.
You could do that, Elios. You could have a train on each end.
Why is this moving back around and I'm not touching it? I'm in the train?
5,000 concurrent players. Yikes.
On the online map, it shows it off at about 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I had it all lined up, jump in the train, and it turned itself.
Yeah, that's probably full, Paul.
I wasn't sure if it's going to do another animation slot or not.
No, that's it. So you may have wasted like 1 or 2 loads.
You have high hopes for the Ubisoft Avatar game? I don't. I'm sure it'll be fun, but not for very long. I think Ubisoft are quite good at making games that are great fun, but not for a long period, apart from Anno. CS Fatman, thank you for 4 months. Nyman, thank you for 20.
Yeah, so that's 9 now, Paul. And then the next one, when it starts to move up, take the ramp up.
Okay.
And that should be 10. I really should be concentrating on what I'm doing.
Otherwise you might do a pups.
What do you mean?
Peak today, 37,000. Farming Sim, 30,000. Oh, what? You mean Farming Sim's got more players than Battlefield 5? Shouldn't you be looking at Battlefield 2042, though, not Battlefield 5? What's Dying Light 2 like? Does anybody know?
Sammy, have I done this right?
Be more specific.
You've installed
I
it but
think
not
I'm
played it.
where I'm
or-
meant to be. Got it that one?
Is it going to be one of those games, Imp, that you install and never play? It's trash. It's fun.
Yeah.
I love the internet. Guys, what's this like? It's rubbish. It's amazing.
I think you've overshot, Paul.
Let's have a look. I don't know. It depends. I'm not going to risk it, though. Black Buds. Thank you for 98 months,
control
sir.
the train for you.
Hard to believe we're closing on 100. Not has just about my life. Thanks for the years of entertainment. Thank you for years of support, Black Mud. What did you say, Pup?
Do you want to control the train and I'll do the iron ore again?
You could actually hook that train on, Pups, and just leave it all in neutral if you put the reg
That's true.
and reverse in at 0%.
Yeah, indeed, Matty. Indeed. Do you like zombie games? If you do you like Dying Light 2? If not, you won't. I mean, I enjoy zombie games. It's just that they get a bit overdone. Parkour is great. From what I saw, because I did bounce around the stream for like 10 minutes, and from what I saw, the parkour is a bit mad. Like, you basically fly, like your jump range is insane, and no matter what you land on, you just go, ooh, and climb up. So it did feel a little bit like it was pretty hard to fall. I did play a bit of the first time.
Forward.
Like,
Stop.
Have we got enough iron ore to fully load again?
There's
Yeah, it
still
should have.
100 in, so yeah.
Blimey.
I think I played a bit of the first time. I can't remember.
Nah, the only thing they've added to Gas Sim Cumbria is the car wash. Is Dying Light 2 mainly a single player game then, or is it like an online thing, or what? Like, is it a story that you just play through and that's it? Or does it then also have a multiplayer something? Co-op or both? So once you've done the story, is there more playability? Or is it like survive waves of zombies in a co-op type thing?
Forward. Stop.
City Skylines DLC is worth it after a week of playing. That's the airport one, right? Will you be looking at search and rescue with the new DLC? What game are you talking about? Kiwi on gameplay, welcome. Thank you. Shelby, thank you for 84. $90 for Dying Light 2. Oof. Oof. I remember buying games on cassette for £5. $1.99 were the cheap ones. And then Ultimate Play the Game came out and made everything £10. And then Ocean Software followed suit. So their games were £10 as well.
Forward.
Was that for pups?
You missed out. Shout at Pups and Sunny for laying dodgy track and not forgetting Vrome for dying SquirrelPlus.
What?
Stop.
None of those things has happened today, Dave. £55 standard game price. I thought that was standard on console, you know? PC games were always cheaper than console. Imp, I am the only streamer on Twitch that still gives you Christmas emotes in February. Yeah? The
You're
only
one of
one.
them people who have your tree up as well, Paul.
Oh, yeah. But not that multiplayer progression to the story of Dying Light is only for the host player, not for everyone. Ooh. Ooh.
So kind of like Stoneworks. Not Stoneworks,
Yeah.
SnowRunner.
Yeah, exactly. And for 8 months, Nikolai?
I don't really... Since I don't really mind that as long as you can give the person the save game.
Creeps, this game, Train Sim 2, Train Sim World 2, Train Sim World 1, Train Simulator, Derail Valley, Run 8, they all offer different things.
Stop.
They're all very, very different. Doing all right, Blackbird. Thank you very much for 86 months.
I heard Puppy really likes this sound. You are welcome.
You thought you'd moved on from in February, Pups, right?
I did. I was in such a good mood, Paul, until now.
Does it not remind you of your dad just putting up decorations outside the house and going crazy?
Just no. I don't even want to think about it, let alone talk about it. It's the most horrible time of the year. Forward. And stop.
You don't get it. What is the overall objective of the game?
You can put the...
What?
You can put the brake on the first carriage, Paul, and turn your train around now if you want.
Okay. %.
I don't even like Easter. Or Halloween.
The main difference between this and other train games is in this game you build your own track. So it's kind of like
multiplayer.
It's kind of like Derail Valley, except it's multiplayer and you build your own track. But the industry stuff in Derail Valley is a lot more evolved. Like, it gives you the map, but hardly any track to drive on. So the first time you get the game, you're like, whoa, I'm in a train game and I can't drive anywhere. Correct. You've got to build all your own track first. So you spend the first, like, 6, 7, 8 hours building track. What was the key? Oh, there you go.
You might have to check the switches, but I'm just hooking up the other train for you.
Yeah, let's just remember how the thing works.
Nice.
Come on, where's the yellow box? Can you not? Oh, you can do it from the front, can't you?
BRB.
What?
Nice. I've set the switches for you, Paul.
Oh. What am I doing? Just going round to the front of this, or?
Yeah, so just go up to the last switch and then I'll switch it back and you can reverse and hook up to the second train again.
Whitco, thank you for 9 months. Happy Twitch, baby. Nikolai, I don't think I said thank you for 8 months, but thank you. Overshot. Come back a bit.
Was that a joke, Paul, in my reference, was it? Just a bit short. So funny.
That water tower is like empty, isn't it?
Yep.